Welcome to our August angel reading and intuitive insights for the month ahead. We're going to take a look at the theme for the month. I have the messages and insights that have been coming through for you. I'll share some of the numerology for the month as well. And I will be touching on the astrology, the key dates coming up, some really major ones. And I have angel cards to share with you. As always, we're working with the heart and soul angel cards. So I've already picked the cards, so I'm going to go through those at the end. So first of all, I just want to mention, I think I mentioned last month that I was working on a new course all about awakening your psychic abilities, and I can tell you that it's just about ready. It's called Psychic Magic, and I'm so thrilled to bring this to you. It is something that I've poured so much of my time into and all the things that I've learned over the years, working with angels, working as a Reiki master and teacher, working with my spirit guides, opening up my own psychic abilities, and really just sharing all the things I've learned throughout all the work I've done over the years. So there's some really powerful practices in there that will help you to understand your own psychic gifts and to develop your own psychic gifts. And you'll learn different techniques for developing different psychic abilities. So it'll really help you to hone your own unique gifts. And I'll also share with you how to protect your energy. I talk about auras and chakras, and there's intuitive exercises in there, there's guided meditations, there's so much. And I thought about the upcoming Lionsgate Portal. And because we have such a huge month ahead, which I'll talk about in a minute with the Lionsgate, I was thinking it's a perfect time to tap into your psychic powers. So I'm going to give you 50% off to celebrate the Lionsgate, and I'll leave a link below so that you can sign up and you can dive straight into all the good stuff. I'm really excited for you to discover it. So we are going to look at the theme for the month, and it's really funny because August is a really interesting time because we've some really significant cosmic events coming up. I'll explain about those in a moment. We have the numerology of 8, which is significant, which I'll also go into. And we also have some spiritual events that we can tap into. So first of all, let's look at the theme. And when I was tuning in, if you remember, last month's theme was stepping up. And as I was tuning in, the words step up kept coming up over and over. And I was thinking, well, that was the theme last month. Surely there's a different theme this month. But they just kept repeating. So I said, okay, I'll go with this. So it's like we're continuing this theme. And if anything, this month it's amplified. So what I wanted to share with you, I was in the gym recently, and there was a person on the step machine, and we're just stepping, it's just like constantly going around, and you're not getting anywhere. You're working really hard, but you're not getting anywhere. The image of a hamster wheel also comes up, and the hamster is running around rapidly on the wheel, but he's not getting anywhere. And that's kind of what was coming to mind when I was thinking about stepping up. If you feel like you've been trying to step up and you've been working really hard, but you don't seem to be getting anywhere, August energy will allow you to actually step up. So that's the good news. And it will involve getting off that hamster wheel, stepping out of the cage, stepping out and into something completely new. And it's a really exciting time, but it can also be an uncomfortable time because change on this level can feel uncomfortable. It can feel uncomfortable at first. And it can even bring like temporary confusion or questioning. And it may seem like you're taking 2 steps back, but it's all going to reveal itself. I remember when I was in labor with my first son, and I remember going to a hypnobirthing class, and she was saying there'll come a point where you may feel like giving up. It may be that you're like, I just can't do this anymore. And that's usually the point where the baby's about to be born. And I have found so many times, and that did happen. That point came where I thought, I can't do this anymore. And then a few minutes later, the baby was born. But I've discovered that that theme really has reoccurred so many times in my life where I'm working towards a goal, I'm holding the energy, I'm like really strong in the vision for that desire. And then there might come a point where it hasn't transpired, and I'll think, you know what, I don't know if I can keep working towards this. I don't know if I can keep maintaining and holding this energy. And it's usually at that point I'll realize, oh, it's about to happen. The breakthrough is about to happen. And you probably heard me say the breakdown comes before the breakthrough. And it doesn't have to be a breakdown, but it's just that point where you may feel like giving up, but that's the very point where you're about to break through. The darkest hour is before the dawn. So don't worry, stick with it. Everything will iron itself out. Trust the process, trust yourself, trust the universe, and it's all coming together. So I just wanted to share that message with you. So the numerology for the month is 8. August is an 8 month, and 8 in numerology represents abundance, prosperity, power. It's a chance to anchor abundance and to stand strong in our power. I was explaining to some of you that I was working on the psychic course, and suddenly this idea came through really strongly about sharing about abundance. And if you're on my mailing list, you'll have seen me sharing about the abundance course that I created. And I put on pause the psychic course because I thought that that was just something that was coming through really strongly and really needed to be put out there. So yeah, if you have tapped into that, I know a lot of you are working with the meditations and the processes in there, and you'll find that that'll really help you with aligning with abundance for this month. So I think that's what was coming through. It was preparing us for what's to come in August, to prepare our energy to receive abundance. So the astrology for the month, let's take a look at some of the dates. The first of the month, we have a super full moon in Aquarius. I'll explain all about what that means in a moment. On the 8th, we have the 8/8 Lionsgate Portal, a huge cosmic event. On the 16th, we have the new moon in Leo. On the 23rd, we have Virgo season beginning and Mercury going retrograde. And then on the 31st, we have a super full blue moon in Pisces. That's a bit of a mouthful. So what's going on? There's a lot. So firstly, yes, we do have 2 super full moons this month. And I'll explain all about the significance of that. I was thinking about this, and I normally within Fiercely Spiritual Family, my American First group, we work with the full moon and the new moon energy. And because we have an extra super full moon this month, I was thinking I might do an extra live gathering. If you're not aware, Fiercely Spiritual Family is my members group where we learn about angels, how to connect with them, how to work with them. But we also have a couple of live gatherings each month where we all meet and we connect with the angels and the energy of the moon. And we work with that energy to heal, to release, to manifest. So yeah, if you would like to join for the month of August, I'm going to open up 10 places because there's so much coming up, and I think a lot of people will really benefit from the live gatherings that we'll be doing around the super moons and the new moons and the Lionsgate, everything that's coming up. So I'll leave a link below if you want to join and take one of those 10 places. So the first, we have the super full moon in Aquarius. So the supermoon is when the moon is closer to the earth. So the energy is amplified, and it is really significant because we feel it and we feel the effects of it more strongly. So as I said, this is the first of 2 super full moons this month, and the second, which is on the 31st, I'll go into in a moment. But two super full moons is going to bring enormous shifts. It's going, and coupled with the Lionsgate, which again I'll go into in a minute, it's going to be really powerful. So this first one falls in the sign of Aquarius, which is an air sign. It's the final air sign of the zodiac. Excuse me. And Aquarius is linked to aspirations, it's linked to intuition, to integrity, and it's also linked to the water bearer, which represents this sign, which brings in kind of a water energy. Even though it's an air sign, we have air and water working in harmony. So Aquarius will help us to open up to aspirations and to our intuition. And this will really set the tone for the month. And we'll be able to tap into the super full moon energy, where we can really, will probably have heightened intuitive experiences. Maybe you'll have downloads or channel information. But yeah, there'll be an opportunity to really tune in to that inner guidance and to tap into aspirations that are coming up for you as well. So 1 week after the super full moon, on the 8th, we have the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. So the energy for the Lionsgate, it starts to build in advance. So at the end of July, around the 25th, 26th, we start having the aperture of the Lionsgate opening up, and it builds on up until its full opening on the 8th, and then it's waning up till about August 12th or so. So in astrology, the Lionsgate is the rising of the star Sirius. And Sirius is thought to be Earth's spiritual sun. And it's a really powerful planet. It shines 23 times brighter than our sun. And this alignment with Sirius brings opportunity for spiritual enlightenment. So the imagery that I get is, if you can imagine like a door opening up, a physical door opening up, and on the other side of that door is this immense light that's shining through, that's flooding through. And when that door is open, that light shines directly onto us, and it allows us to absorb the light, all of the light codes, the vibration of that light, and then gradually that door closes again. So during the Lionsgate portal, particularly on the 8th, you have an opportunity to attune your energy, to set in motion the energy and the frequency required to manifest huge change. And we also have the 8th chakra, which is the soul star chakra just above our heads, which is the first of our spiritual chakras, and it represents our connection to divine love. So we have this connection with the 8th chakra as well on the 8th on the Lionsgate. So a really important day to tap into your spiritual side, to really open up on new levels. It's said that on the Lionsgate portal, you can literally shift timelines. You can step from the timeline that you're on to a new timeline. But of course, you want to be very clear on what timeline you want to step into. You want to be really clear on your aspirations. So that's why it's important with the super full moon in Aquarius to get clear on your aspirations and where you want to go. And of course, always balanced with heart and soul aspirations, not just being in your head, not just working from the ego. So following the Lionsgate portal on the 16th, we have the new moon in Leo. So Leo new moon is going to be bringing a shift in the energy. We're going to be working with the birthing energy of the new moon to bring a new beginning. Again, we can work with it to set intentions. And with the Leo energy, we have this lion's courage, this self-belief. So we are stepping into our power. So it means that we can work with this energy to achieve what we have set in motion from the start of the month, with the first super full moon, with the Lionsgate, with the new moon. Then we're following through, we're setting everything in motion, and you can achieve your heart's desires when you are aligned with your divine self. So huge opportunity again with this new moon, and you can intend to let go of anything, any fear, any obstacles that are not aligned, that may be holding you back, that are preventing you from achieving your true heart's desire. So that will be different for everyone. Somebody may have a true heart's desire of ascending spiritually to the next level. Somebody else might have a desire that's more physical. It might be to do with their health or well-being. It really depends on the person. So that's up to you to tune in and decide and realize what that is. So following that, we have on the 23rd, the start of Virgo season, and also Mercury goes retrograde. So Virgo, the theme of Virgo is usually bringing up strongly the theme of health, themes of life purpose, themes of around career. Virgos can be quite driven. They're analytical, they are perfectionistic, they can be very orderly in their thinking, but they can have a tendency to get caught up in their heads and to overthink. So watch out for that. And then with Mercury going retrograde, I always talk about Mercury is the planet of communication. And when it goes retrograde, instead of, people talk about mishaps in communication or breakdown of communication, but I always see it as an opportunity to go within, to reverse the communication, to communicate with our inner selves, to really tune in, to introspect. And if you find with the Virgo energy that you're overthinking things, just be aware if you're too much in your head, and working with the energy of Hamaliel, who is the guardian angel of Virgo, to help balance and ground your energy. But also, if you are taking time to introspect, make sure you're taking time out to just clear your head and just to be present. That might involve being in nature, being, out connecting with the ground, having your shoes off, walking in the grass, walking on the beach, whatever helps to balance your head with your heart and with your energy overall, just bringing balance into your entire being. So stay present, stay grounded, and enjoy the Virgo energy. The final day of the month, the 31st, we have the second super full moon in Pisces, and it's called a blue moon because it's the second moon within full moon within the same month. So we have the Pisces energy coming up, which is a water sign, and Pisces is associated with emotions, with intuition, with spirituality, sensitivity. So during this time, you might find that you're feeling, again, more introspective, more intuitive, more sensitive to your emotions. So again, we have this theme of introspection coming up. It's always really great to go within, but again, just make sure that you're not getting too caught up in your head, that you're not, if you are introspecting, make sure that you're connecting with your heart center and focusing there. You may even want to drop down to some of your lower chakras, whatever feels good to you, but just getting out of your head and letting your heart speak. So the Pisces energy is associated with the archetype of the mystic. So with this super full blue moon in the sign of Pisces, you may be feeling inspired to tap into this inner wisdom, to your own inner mystic, and to look for meaning and purpose in your life. So this can be a time of heightened intuition, heightened spiritual awareness, and especially following the Lionsgate as well. So a lot happening this month. And the energy of Pisces, as I mentioned, it can be really emotional energy as well. So if you are feeling overly sensitive or vulnerable or easily overwhelmed, taking time to be in nature, taking time for self-care, taking time to meditate, and having compassion for yourself, having compassion for the process, for your spiritual journey. And you can allow yourself to let your emotions flow through you without getting caught up in them. So be sensitive to that emotional energy, be gentle with yourself, be compassionate, and yeah, just enjoy the opportunity to tap into the new levels of awareness. I think that's what's really important, and stepping up to that new way of being. So I'm going to share the angel cards with you that came up. The first card is from the suite of mystical animal guides, and this card is beautiful she leopard of divine fire of creation. So this is a card of tender fearlessness and heart forgiveness. So the message says that fearless she leopard is an ancient feminine archetype. She embodies and emanates divine fire of creation, showing the true power of red attainable when the foundation or core of your being is fully balanced and harmonized. Remember, red is the color of the base chakra. Masculine aspects of red are courage, justice, and empowerment, while feminine aspects are to be fearless yet tender, true to self, and deeply at peace. To attain this balance, she assists you with to breathe your own red energy up from the base of spine to interact with heart, pink, and soul blue. The colors combine to become the magenta blood rose flower of life of the higher heart. So you can work with this energy, connecting with the she leopard of divine fire creation, breathing in this energy to cleanse and purify and bring balance to masculine and feminine. So really beautiful energy to work with. And I would encourage you to work with that, particularly around those dates, those the full moons, the super full moons, the Lionsgate, the new moon, if you feel called to do so. The second card is from the suite of mystical animal guides again, and this is the Swan of Serenity and Transfiguration. So this is the card of transformational power of truth and freedom. So the message is Swan is an archetype for serenity in the face of change. Even during the tender vulnerability of the signet, we know that the promise of and purity of Swan herself is merely waiting to manifest. So if you're involved in a fraught situation, Swan says change is about to happen. Her element of water allows you first to find equilibrium in life, even if only temporarily, balancing your emotions so that you can calmly evaluate your situation. Then you can choose to work with Swan herself to overcome a challenge, release karma, and so through transfiguration, receive spiritual grace, an important step towards realizing and accepting true heart's desire. So I mentioned about true heart's desire and manifesting it. And we also talked about overwhelm and emotional energy coming up, particularly with the Pisces energy. And you can work with Swan of Serenity and Transfiguration during this time if you are feeling overly emotional or overwhelmed or sensitive. A really powerful energy to work with as well during the month. And then the final card is from the suite of Sacred Hallows light tools. And we've had this card before. It's one that I love. This is the gold and silver light broom. And I think this will be really helpful this month. So this is the card of light cleansing and balancing inner and outer self. So from the abyss of everlasting light comes the broom, fashioned from gold and silver light beams, sweeper of the finite golden sands of this life and the infinite silver seas of time itself. Choose how you wish to use this precious tool. The angels will help you as long as you ask with a loving and honest intent. If you make a decision to scour away past or present issues from your life, then use the broom's golden rays. See the glittering light sweeping powerfully around you, creating a clean and shining environment once more. The broom's silver rays sweep your heart, for its purpose is to help banish internal shadows. Soul fragments may cling to you from other people or things that you have loved and lost during this or other lifetimes. Open your heart to the angels and ask to place such fragments within your heart flower. Try to see the image of each person or issue within a flower petal. You can then visualize the broom's gentle silvery beams softly collecting up these energy particles and sweeping them into the abyss of light. So again, a really powerful card to work with. The Lionsgate Portal is coming up for this one. And I think that it'll be really beneficial to work with this tool during the Lionsgate, but you can also work at any time throughout the month if you want. You can call on the angels and ask them to bring in the gold and silver rays of this gold and silver light broom to help you to heal and to become whole again. So I hope that helps you. I hope you are preparing your energy for what's to come and working with the angels. And at any time you need to, you can call on your angels and guides and ask for their support. And I think that would be really beneficial with everything that's coming up this month, to really lean on their support and ask them to help you as you go through these energy portals. So as always, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye. See you soon.